Hi folks, in this video I take you to the Florida Everglades along US Route 41 and I show you the best things to do. Let's get to it. We share the best camping locations in the USA.
Hi guys, we hope you enjoy the video.
Check out our RV and camping related gear at our Amazon storefront. Link in video description. Hi folks, in this video I give you an overview and tour of things to do along US Route 41 going through the Florida Everglades. And I thought this would be a good opportunity to give you a little preface here. In my last two videos, I did a video on Collier Seminole State Park, which is right in here. And that's right outside of Naples, Florida. And then the last video I did was on camping opportunities within the Big Cypress National Preserve. Those are these three campgrounds you see on my personal camping map marked in purple. So with that as a background for this video, I saved all the neat things to do outside of those camping opportunities for this video. So with that, I want to point out heading toward Miami from the Naples area, you're going to run into these two picnic areas. These two picnic areas that are marked on my camping map here are RV friendly. There are picnic tables there. They have trash receptacles. But you're not allowed to overnight camp there. But whether you have whether you're a camper or not, you can stop at these picnic areas and take a break. If you have a big rig, an RV, there's very few places along US Route 41 between Naples and Miami where you can pull off and take a break. So there are places, but there are few of them. These are easy in, easy out, right off of US Route 41. So, I'm going to give you a little footage of these picnic areas. A lot of my audience are RVers, they are campers, and they would be interested in these areas. So, real quick, I'm going to cut to a video of both of these roadside tables, if you will, and then we're going to jump right in to the best things to do along US Highway 41 in the Florida Everglades. You're looking at US Route 41. Going back that way is Collier Seminole State Park and Naples, Florida. This is a roadside park, and if you're coming through here with an RV, there are a few places where you can pull an RV over and take a break. This is one of them. This is a little roadside park. There's no restroom here, but there are picnic tables and trash receptacles, and you have plenty of room to pull your rig off the side of the road. So good to know information. Grid coordinates. I've captured those for you, so let's move on. Hey, so folks, don't laugh. This is the second roadside park that you come along on US Route 41 going through the Florida Everglades. And hey, yeah, like I said, don't laugh. These pullovers for RVers are near and dear to our heart. In fact, both of these roadside camping areas I put on my camping map, not roadside camping areas, roadside tables where you can pull over and take a break. So you're not allowed to camp here, but they are very useful, and I've marked the grid coordinates for both of these roadside tables, and I'm going to share those with you. Like I said, both of these roadside tables going through the Florida Everglades are on my camping map. I have stops on there as well on my camping map. Let me flip the camera around and give you a better look at this roadside table. So there was an RV that pulled out. He was right in front of me. That's why I parked like that. But he's pulled out now. But yeah, you have another roadside table. It's got cement picnic tables and a garbage receptacle here. And plenty of room to pull an RV over, no matter what size you have. There's enough to get several RVs in here. It looks like there used to be some kind of plaque here, but it is marked no overnight parking or camping at this location. But good to know information if you're coming through here with an RV. I'll share those grid coordinates with you. For this portion of the video, I'll be using Google Earth. Okay, so our first stop is the 10,000 mile or the 10,000 Islands National Wildlife Refuge. And we're going to the Marsh Trail. This is right outside of Collier Seminole State Park, heading toward Miami on US Route 41. And let me zoom in a little bit more for you. So I shot some video for you, giving you a little orientation. And actually, Melody and I had visited this location in 2019. I revisited it so I could show it to you on this video in 2023, in February 2023. So let me hop to the video, show you what this place looks like. You won't want to miss the 10,000 Islands National Wildlife Refuge Marsh Trail if you're traveling US Highway 41 going through the Florida Everglades. Let's hop to the video. Well, here's an attraction for you right along US Route 41 going through the Florida Everglades. 10,000 Islands National Wildlife Refuge Marsh Trail. Melody and I have been out here several times. You have a nice little parking area. And let me walk you up here, give you an orientation of what's here at the parking area, and then I'll show you what the main attraction is. And in the lower left-hand corner, you'll see that Milo was allowed on this trail. So again, if you're coming through an RV, they do have some parking places. There are a few parking places, I'd say 2 here. There's one right here and another right there. I don't think that's a parking place. That's the turnaround area there. Well, let me walk you around the corner here. So there are some storyboards here, and there's a walkway that takes you out to a very long walkway. But here's Collier Seminole State Park, US Highway 41 coming through here. And where we're at is in the 10,000 Islands National Wildlife Refuge in this parking area right here. And the trail from here will lead you up to where that set of binoculars is. It's an observation tower. And if you're really into bird watching, that's a great place to go, folks. So this walkway takes you out to basically a road. It doesn't have any traffic on it, but it's a paved walkway. They do have a portable toilet here. Yeah, they got it blocked off. And trash receptacle. But you just follow this road out. It will take you to a tower. I'm not going to walk clear out there today, but Melody and I were here in 2019, and we took Milo out to that tower. I'll see if I have some photographs. If I can find them, I'll put them up for you. Well, we didn't have the YouTube channel back in 2019, so I actually could not find a photo of the tower. But here's a short video clip of some of the wildlife we encountered going out this trail. And if you're wondering how far that tower is, From the parking area here, it looks like it is 0.25 miles. And here's the parking area, and just up that trail, this location right here is the tower, and all that wildlife we had encountered was along this stretch right here where the water is. It's kind of like a mangrove swamp. Our next destination along U.S. Highway 41 is the Nathaniel P. Reed Visitor Center. So this is the first major visitor center you encounter heading toward Miami on U.S. Highway 41 once you enter the Big Cypress National Preserve. And they have, in addition to the visitor center, you actually walk through the visitor center, and they have a walkway back here. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. You see this walkway. You walk out here toward the rear of the visitor center, and there is a boardwalk that spans this mangrove swamp here. And there are manatee in there, although this last time when we visited we didn't see any manatee. But there are exhibits inside and outside of the visitor center. You can get all the information you need on the Big Cypress National Preserve there. If you have a book, you can get it stamped. So this is a good stop, folks. The next place we're going to go is the Ochopee Post Office. It's the smallest post office in the United States. So Melody and I have been through here multiple times before. We never stopped, so we decided to stop. There is a historical marker here at this little post office. Let me zoom in a little bit. There is a pullover area, so you can pull off. Now, it comes up on you fast, but this is on Google Earth and Google Maps, so you can plug it into your GPS if you want, so you don't miss it. You can buzz right past it on U.S. Highway 41 here. And here are some photos, and I think I have a video clip. Let me put that video clip up for you. Well, we're in Ochopee, Florida, and this is considered the smallest post office in the United States. And the post office was open during the time of our visit. Just up the highway from the post office, you're going to find a panther statue. There's also a gift shop there. There's a campground there as well, but I thought it was overpriced. But it is a good stop just to check out the panther statue. And I believe there was a Bigfoot there as well. This is the campground. Trail Lakes Campground. I want to say it was like $75 a night. And they didn't have full hookups. They do have a dump station there. And I believe it was 30 amp. So, you know, a little pricey for Melody and I. In the gift shop, we had some neat stuff in there. You can also get a cold drink. Our next stop on U.S. Highway 41 is just up the road at the H.P. Williams Roadside Park. I mean, many years ago, we're talking decades ago, Melody and I stopped at this roadside park with the kids, and they were small then, and the park was totally different, and there's remnants of the old park there. So here are some photos of this roadside park that's been completely remodeled. They now have a boardwalk, if you will, right along the canal. And there were some alligators in there. There's a public restroom. I believe it may have been vault toilets, and a pretty large parking area. So if you're passing through the Florida Everglades on U.S. Route 41, you don't want to miss the H.P. Williams Roadside Park. our next stop is the Skillet Strand backcountry area, and I had a great time here. The parking area for the Skillet Strand Trail, this is a backcountry access area. What this is let me zoom in a little bit. This is a off-road vehicle trail. If you take an off-road vehicle in here, you need a special permit through the Big Cypress National Preserve. But I hiked this back up in here, and the terrain's a little bit interesting. Surprisingly, there were quite a few flowers I encountered along the trail, and there was I would say it's about a mile in. I parked my truck here, and I progressed up the into the backcountry, and you see this green area right up in here. This is a piece of high ground. It's probably maybe a foot higher than the surrounding terrain, and so it's a lush in here. It's almost like a jungle, and there were some different plant life along the way I encountered, and it was just a real pretty hike. It's very dense, and I did go off trail back into the Strand and just to explore, but I didn't have my bear spray, and I didn't have a sidearm with me. So and there were some loud noises coming from that strand, so it sounded like some large animals in there, and they do have bear and panthers in the Big Cypress National Preserve. So I turned around. It wasn't too long of a hike. I probably spent maybe 3 hours out and back, and I took my time, and I took photographs and whatnot. But this is not a widely publicized part of the Big Cypress National Preserve. So it's easy to miss, but they do have a nice trailhead here, and you can park your vehicle in there and just walk the road all the way back, and then you can split off. Now, in some areas, there's signs saying you can't, wander into the wilderness, but not the whole place is like that. There are some signs along here and kind of like a prairie area. But once you get back up in here, there were no signs saying that you couldn't, go off the trail. At least on foot. I'm sure you can't drive. You wouldn't want to drive it. You couldn't drive a off-road vehicle back into some of these places because it's so dense. So the next place we're going to go is the Kirby Storter Roadside Park, and this is a no-miss attraction here. Very easy to miss this boardwalk, and it is let me take you out there and I'll fill you in on what to see and do at the Kirby Storter Roadside Park. Okay, so this is, let me zoom in a little bit closer. You have a nice little parking area here. It has a set of vault toilets. You have these pavilions. There's a number of picnic pavilions there. And this is a boardwalk. And this is, if you're just driving past here on US Highway 41, you could be oblivious that there is a boardwalk there. But it's a very nice boardwalk. And the wildlife was just fantastic. This is a pretty walk out through here, this boardwalk, and it winds you back into it dead ends at a water area. You wind up in this, there's like, I want to say it's a pond, but there's also a stream running in and out of it. And there were lots of turtles, lots of birds, and snakes. Like maybe I saw 24 snakes, but they were so deeply embedded in the like lilies that were on top of the water. You could barely make out the snakes, but I've never seen so many snakes in one spot. So Kirby Storter Roadside Park, another don't miss attraction along US Highway 41 going through the Florida Everglades. The next place we're going to go is the Loop Road Scenic Drive in the Big Cypress National Preserve. This was our favorite excursion within the Big Cypress National Preserve. Okay, so you see here, Google Earth has taken us to Big Cypress Swamp Buggy Tours. Okay, so what you want to look for is a sign that says Monroe Station. There's a big parking area here. This is public parking for the Big Cypress National Preserve. And there's some parking spaces right over in here. Let me zoom in a little bit. See these parking spaces right here? You can park right here if you want to take a little break. You need a permit to park in here. This is for some type of excursion. I forget exactly what it's for. But the attraction that you want to go to here is the Loop Drive. And you'll see the sign as well as being marked as Monroe Station. It does say it's the Loop Road Drive. And this is the Loop Road. Let me blow this out for you. So right here is Midway Campground. Here's Monroe Station, and this is the Loop Scenic Drive. And it took Melody and I want to say 2.5, 3 hours to do this drive. Now, you take your time. There's all kinds of little pull-offs, but we saw so much wildlife on this drive. Like I said, this is the outline of the scenic drive here. And this is a hard-packed dirt road up until you get to the end here. And then it turns into a paved county road. And this will bring you right back out on Highway 41, just short of the Shark Valley Visitor Center in Everglades National Park. So, but it does take a while to do this drive, so I would say set at least 3 hours aside to do this drive. Okay, so we saw so much wildlife. In fact, this is where we saw the most wildlife in the Big Cypress National Preserve, and that even included going next door to the Everglades National Park in Shark Valley. This is a do not miss attraction if you're traveling on US Highway 41 going through the Florida Everglades. Okay, so the next place we're going is Shark Valley Visitor Center in the Everglades National Park. And I have to say this was our second most favorite stop along US Highway 41 in the Florida Everglades. This is Highway 41 up here. This was our second time at the Shark Valley Visitor Center. When we went in 2019, we took our own bicycles and we did the bicycle route. Let me blow this out a little bit for you. I'm going to go out a little bit more. Okay, so the visitor center's up here near US Highway 41. And then you have this road that goes out to the Shark Valley Observation Tower. And there's several ways you can get out there. You are allowed to walk, but it's a very long, it's a long road. So I forget exactly how many miles it is, but it's a long haul. So you basically either need to bicycle out there or you take the tram. Well, in 2019, we took our own bicycles and we did this full route. There it is. You can see the road a little bit better now. And going out, it's a straight shot. See, that road's pretty much a straight shot. But on the way back, you're zigzagging all the way back up through here. And there's lots of wildlife along this one-lane road. It's one way. So this last time we took the tram, which I'm glad we did that because it was a very informative tram. I'll put the prices up on the screen for you. But the ranger that gave the talk basically talked the whole way, both going out to the tower. I think we had 20 minutes to get out of the tram at the tower. We went up in the tower and then we got back on the tram. But lots of wildlife. We did see a lot of baby alligators on this last trip out to the observation tower and back. Now I want to return to the visitor center. That's not the only thing to do, by the way, and that's why I'm coming back into the visitor center. The tower's not the only thing to do. And I want to say it was a 2-hour trip to go for that tram ride. I'm pretty sure it was a 2-hour trip. I think we left at 10 a.m. and got back at 12 noon. But here's the visitor center, and if you don't have time to go out to the observation tower, you can just park in here and then you can walk out to this boardwalk. See, this says Bobcat Boardwalk Trailhead, and this is a boardwalk all the way to the other side of the tram road. And but where you can see a lot of wildlife is right down here. If you just walk straight down this tram road, and you are allowed to walk, you can see a canal here, and there's all kinds of wildlife you'll encounter along that canal. And if you don't have your own bicycles, they do have bicycle rental there at the Shark Valley Visitor Center. Both the tram and the bicycle rental is run by a concessionaire. But if you take the tram, they do have a park ranger that accompanies you on that tram. So hey folks, the last place we're going to go is Everglades Safari Park. If you want to take an airboat ride in the Florida Everglades, Melody and I highly recommend Everglades Safari Park. In addition to the airboat ride, they have a nature trail there that's very interesting, and they have an alligator show that you'll go to after you finish your airboat ride. So hey folks, Melody and I did a separate video on Everglades Safari Park. There'll be a link to that video at the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. That's why we make them. If you did like this video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you down the road.